nature. I truly believe that we've moved away from the culture of having Sunday dinners. We've allowed electronics to come in and do a lot of different things. So one of the greater things was being able to break bread with them on Sundays when we met, so that they can understand what it is to communicate with people now and not always have a device in their hand. The purpose of my cousin and I coming together to do these events that we do is so that we can educate the community and bring awareness to what's going on in the community. I'm a firm believer that it takes a village to do this. I'm a firm believer that in order for us to be great, we have to stand together in numbers. If we can't stand strong in numbers, we're not gonna make a great impact in our community. We can't always expect for somebody to come in and save our community. We have to come in and do the legwork ourselves. We have to stop being mad at people when they're chastising our children in love. We have to stop being mad when different things are going on and we're not taking a stance on making a difference with these things. When I speak with some of the young men who do the mentoring groups and different things of that nature, Mark and myself was having a conversation this morning, and the conversation that we were having was, how can we expect greatness to come out of our community when it's difficult to get the community to support us? It's difficult to get the parents to stand up and help us. It's a lot. We'll transport your children, we'll feed your children, we'll show your children different ways and avenues of doing different things, but you have to work with us in doing these things at home just as well. You have to be an active part in your children's life. You have to be an active participant in their education. You have to be present and be there. It's very difficult when it's a single parent raising a child. But when you have groups to stand up and they want to be a positive role model in their lives, it's difficult to get people to transport their children. It's difficult to get people to sign up. But what we will sign up for is we'll go to the latest concert. We'll go drop them off at the skating ring. We'll do all these different things, but when you have people that's out here investing in the community, you don't want to support that. You'll take them to the racetrack. You'll take them everywhere, but where somebody's trying to teach them how to be positive young women and strong black men. In order for us to do this, we have to hold hands and do this as a unity. We have to do this as a team. So my cousin and I will be continuing to put more events together. For myself, as I used to tell Major Ramirez and Miss Lisa, it doesn't matter to me if I have one child standing in front of me or 1,000 children standing in front of me. My passion runs deep. Because that one child, if we show him or show her something good, she's gonna be able to pay it forward. Paying it forward is real. So in order for us to be great and do what we need to do, alleviate losing our children, it doesn't matter if your child is Hispanic, black, white, green, purple, the hurt is all the same. The trauma is all the same. So it does not matter what's going on. I don't have to know a person that loses their life for it to impact me. It impacts me because now there's either a mother, a father, or a child, or sister, or cousin who will not get the experience of being with that person. So understanding that the police are not our enemies. When I lived my alternate life, I thought the police were my enemy, and I had a conversation with someone. The police was my enemy because I was rightfully, willfully doing wrong. And when you rightfully and willfully know that you're doing wrong, people that want you to do right, you already know they're your enemy. So in order for us to build an alliance, we have to understand the police are not here to hurt us. They're not here. I commend Federal Police Department all the time. I commend our chief because what we see across the nation, we do not deal with that right here on our land in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We don't worry about the police pulling up and just killing us. That's not what's happening right here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Before we can stretch our hands and worry about another state, let's fix Fayetteville, North Carolina. Let's fix what we have going on here. So I'm gonna let my cousin tell you guys the purpose of our event.
It was started because of the memory of my son, Antonio Jeremiah Styles, who was murdered August 21st, 2017. He was 17 years old. And through that, I have started the mission of trying to save our youth, being a youth advocate, being a voice for our youth, being a activist for our community, to try to save not only all youth, and even families and parents, because just because the children are going through stuff, parents are going through stuff as well. How can we save the child if we don't first start with the parents? Because it strolls from the head down. And I've also started BRIM, Broken, Restored, Empowered Mothers, mothers who have lost children to gun violence and any type of loss. And we have a group, and I have one of my BRIM moms here, and it's about 20, we've moved up about 25 now. And it's getting bigger, which that's something we don't choose, because nobody wants to wear this t-shirt. You know, we would rather have our babies here, but we have to accept what God allows. And I teamed up with my cousin, Demetria Murphy, with Brains Over Bullets. And the purpose of this event is to get our community together, to let you know that we're trying to get out of the crab mentality, we're trying to get away from division, we're trying to get away from one group doing this over here, one organization doing that over there, one organization doing this, but if you say we have the same vision, that means we all should be here. It should be more people here. Yes, we're gonna stream it YouTube and Facebook Live, but we need the community here. We need to hear your voice, this community, to say, hey, we're not the only ones that have a feeling about what's going on in our community. You have a voice too. Your child have a voice. We all live here, we all send our children here, we shop here, we grow here, and so we need to come together as one and try to save our community. We cannot expect Mayor Mitch to do everything. We cannot expect the police department to do everything. We can't expect the politicians to do everything. And Lord knows we can't expect the White House to do everything. So we live here at 28301, 28304, 06, 09, 05. This is North Carolina. This is Mayfield. This is our city. This is our city. We live here. We sleep here. So we need to come together, and we need to try to save our community. We need to do it together. Stop pulling you away. If you're doing something in the community and I don't like what you're doing, then let's try to find out what the reason is why you don't like what you're doing, and let's work through it. It's so much division in this community. It's so much backbiting. It's so much standing in the back. It's so much, if you try to get somebody, I don't want you to get bigger than me, because if you get bigger than me, you're going to take my money. You're going to take my people. But they're not your people. We don't belong to no one but the man that created us. But we're all trying to survive. At any moment, at any hour, at any second, that phone call will come to your phone. It could be your son, it could be your daughter, it could be your cousin, your aunt, your niece. But that's what we're trying to prevent. We're trying to find out why is the guns so rampant in our community, where they're coming from. Why is the young people getting hold of these guns? Where as adults and parents, where do we drop the ball? Administrators, where do we drop the ball? What is going on here? That's the point of this event, to try to get our community together so we can figure out where we need to start from. Me and Demetria can't do it all. The police can't do it all. You can't do it. That's why we need each other. We need each other. One divided, we're all fall. So we need to come together. And where there's unity, there's strength. So that's the purpose of this event, to put some information out there for you, try to get you some knowledge and understanding of what's going on, hear where you're coming from, try to understand, and give you some positive vibes. We're gonna have fun, we're gonna eat, we're gonna do some things, and just show love. I'm all about love. And just love on each other and make this a good event. So thank you.
So due to the hurricane, we had some shift in some of the guest speakers and things of that nature, or the rain that God foreseen just to give us just the blessing of the rain. So I'm gonna first allow Major Ramirez to come up first in case he has to, dart out or anything, because he was just pulling trucks today.
Thank you for having me. Demetria, you're definitely a blessing for the community, definitely for our police department, everything for you, absolutely, and everybody else that's here as a guest speaker. I know for a fact that there's always that barrier where, what now police, all the cops, They're the ones that, arrested my cousin, my nephew, my brother, my mom, my sister, somebody. But like Demetra said, I didn't make that person do that crime or that violence. So with that said, the police department this week, our chief, had a big meeting with us, talking about what's going on. And actually, we don't have the answer. What's going on with all these shootings? And all the professionals in that room with hundreds of years of experience in law enforcement actually couldn't come up with an answer. And we actually will not. The ones that can come up with a better answer or a solution is the leadership from the community, yourself. There's no way that the police can be at the forefront of actually trying to solve what's going on in our streets on a Sunday afternoon, on a Saturday morning, on a Friday night, on a Thursday. I mean, it's no way. We definitely do a very good job in our agency of actually solving the crime. It's super easy for us to pretty much find who did it. There's some crime that goes unsolved, and there's some things that you don't give that family member the satisfaction. But for the most part, we close that case. The facts are the facts sometimes, and it might look ugly, but we pretty much close the case. I like to pretty much say, let's avoid that case. Let's avoid that shooting, that killing, that assault, that injury, that rape. Let's try to avoid that. Well, with that said, the conversation is gonna have to go deep and long, and we're gonna definitely need the leadership of the community to help you. With that said, the most speakers or the people in the front need to be you. The police can help you, assist you, with research, with resources, but the ones in the community are the ones that have the answers. So with that said, I'll give you an example, or a horrible example. A few weeks ago, we know that we had a young lady killed in a shooting. I mean, that person shot that house numerous times. Somebody in our community knows who, why, and what's going on. They do. There's no doubt in my mind. But then how do we confuse that with snitching? Like we say, oh, snitches. How is that snitching if you're saving a life? Because that shooter that did that, if he or she keeps being free, he or she's probably going to shoot again somebody else. So this individual that's out there on the street is liable to hurt somebody in our family, somebody that we love or care for, just because they happen to be in the way or the wrong place at the wrong time. It's going to happen. It just baffles me that, we tend to want to protect our, look, I was born and raised in New York City, and I have family members that I remember people being hurt next door, or people being hurt right in front of us. Hey, be quiet. We don't want cousin so-and-so, uncle so-and-so to go back to prison. I've been there, I understand that. But, at one time I told my cousins, my uncles, my family members, it's enough, because we actually hurting ourselves. Imagine now there's 7 children that are going to be raised without a mama. That's it. I mean, I'm not saying that they're done for it. They can succeed. But I'm saying that's going to be a difficult hurdle for those 7 kids. Because now that young lady's don't want to be here. So I made a decision at one point. No, if you do a crime in front of me, I'm going to tell it. I'll survive in New York City. I'll survive here. I'll survive in the military. I'll survive. I'm not a snitch. I'm just no. If my cousin is going to a party where there's no adults and everybody's underage drinking, there's a gun, I'm going to tell somebody. I'm going to tell my aunt, hey, Lisa's going to a party where there's no adults. I ain't snitching. I'm saving her life or his life. So with that said, but the conversation again, the leadership has to be from the community. And we, the police department, our resources and our connections and our assets, we will support whatever we need. The trust, look, I don't need for you to like me or want me to even be around you. I just want you to use my assets and my resources. That's pretty much as simple as that. Got a question, sir?
Yeah, so the big thing, you said snitching, and that's like the biggest thing in every community. Like nobody wants to be looked upon as the person that told. But I feel like in order to, just a suggestion, like relationship is everything. Okay. So relationship between the police in the community as well as the people who live in that community and honestly, it all starts with children. If children can see that they can trust police officers because police officers are in their community, they're at the basketball courts, they're at great games, schools, things like that. if they can see the positive influence that the police in their community can have on them, that'll show them that as they get older, this is somebody we can rely on to fix problems. And that's just how I feel like the notion that being a snitch is a bad thing starts at a young age. Like everybody's told to not tell, to deal with it on your own. The biggest thing to do is really target the youth. So it's appreciated that you all are, trying to make people feel protected, but if you really want the community to feel protected, like, you gotta find a way to really the youth.
So what I'm hearing is, the police departments, is not, I know that Demetra said, for that's Fayetteville, but the issue is that in the nation, or in the state, we hear that, police can't be trusted. We here in Fayetteville, we're so involved in so many different, we get invited so many times that we gotta tell people we can't make it. There's a reason why there's not a couple of cops here, is because there's like 5, 6 other events going on today. And we just spread so thin on trying to be a part of the community, to trust us, to be a part of it. So, yes, you're absolutely right, the trust has to be built, we have to be more involved, but I need your help. I need you, so I know for a fact that if I need help, it's easy for me to go to Ari or Demetria, like, please, tell them you trust me, or if they don't want someone to talk to me, trust me, talk to you, and you have a conversation in between, and with each other, come forward with information, or resources that are needed, or what is it that you want me to hear? Like, Ramirez, sit down, listen to what they're saying, okay? If it comes from them, if she invites me, I'm gonna be like, down in the spot, because we have a relationship, you're right? It goes both ways. If you invite me, I'm like, I don't know, I gotta make some phone calls, I gotta vet you, and I waste time with that. I just wasted the whole day trying to vet who you are. If you invite me to a community activity that has a bunch of kids in it, and you want me just to hear them out, I don't have to, I've done enough talking. I wanna hear what it is that you need, and I wanna hear what you gotta say, like right now. Invite me, and I'll come. If not me, another police officer, we'll come, we'll support that.
She had a question to the young lady.
I don't have a question first or a comment. I'm going to piggyback off what the young man said here. We have media. Social media is very common in our society. We're all aware of that. And when we see things on social media in a negative light for concerning police officers, and you guys have a no snitch, well, I won't say you because I don't know about federal, but they seem to have a no snitch policy within the police department itself. And when children and some adults see this, and there's no transparency between the police themselves, good cop versus bad cop, you have that code of blue, where it's very prominent. We see it every day, more and more every day. How are we as a community going to rally around your no snitch policy when they enforce a no snitch policy within the police department itself?
Well, what I think you're saying is that we endorse within ourselves to be quiet. And that's what you're saying. You're saying that we don't want to tell on our own when they do something wrong.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
The same thing that your church does, the same thing that your family
But
does.
that doesn't make it right.
I'm going to
You're a whole different realm than the church.
I'm going to a different level here.
Okay.
I'm taking it to a level that it's a culture that we must break. That's what I'm getting to. It's a culture that exists in your church, it exists in your politics, it exists everywhere. And I'm saying you, because is it you, me? You're right. We have to break that. And we're talking, we have to break it at the cost of saving lives. I am the commander over all investigations. So when there's a homicide or a sexual assault or robbery, I'm hearing about it, I'm getting woken up about it, and whether we work, I don't have a relief. It's 24/7, I get the call, the email, the text messages saying, hey, it's happening. On the way here, there was a robbery right now, in Lock Roman. I don't know if anybody here knows Lock Roman, Lock Roman just got robbed. I got gunpoint.
Wow. So,
and it's a violent crime. That person is forever gonna be affected. So with that said, where do we break it? And right now, yes, absolutely. Every little group has their own code or to be quiet, but the problem is this: once your neighbor gets assaulted, shot, raped, or even killed, and nobody wants to talk to the police, that's a That's beyond that right there, because I'll tell you this much right now, if a police officer commits a robbery, a rape, a murder, in Fayetteville PD, I can guarantee you what's gonna happen. I can guarantee you. I mean, look, I'm a Hispanic born and raised in New York City. I've been here for 25 years. I'm the third highest ranking individual in the department. I mean, it ain't gonna happen in my department. I can guarantee you that.
Now, I know I can say, and I see you in this one, now, I know I can say for myself, as long as I've been working with Lisa Jane and Major Ramirez with Operation Ceasefire and the reentry committee, sometimes you get to meet people who, you get an in-depth of different things that sometimes you don't want. And I can honestly say that there's been times that we went to the police department to have YD meetings, and there's been some internal things that have been going on, and Chief Hawkins is like, take care of this, deal with this, because she believes in holding them accountable, and I can stand firm on that. Now, to counteract what the young man said back there, it does not start with the youth of building an alliance with the youth and the police. It starts with building an alliance with the parents and the police. Because you learn in your household. Your household say, because I grew up in that same environment. Come on in, sweetheart. I grew up in that same environment. When you grow up in particular neighborhoods, you are taught and conditioned to not tell. To as simple as being in school and somebody stealing an eraser, you are taught the do not tell rule. You know, you hear in our community, stop tattletelling. Stop running and telling everything. So to build an alliance, you first have to start with building a trust with the parents. Because a child can understand loss, but they don't understand loss significantly as an adult. When you lose somebody as an adult, you deal with that pain differently. And just like he said about the young lady Keita that got killed, I know her family, I don't personally know her. But to have 7 children, to have to be raised amongst this family, it's a tragedy. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I know Ari Manning can attest to. Even though you may not feel like what happened in the community impacts you, it does. But do you know when it impacts you the most? When that knock hits your door. Yep. Or when that phone call rings and it's your family member. That's when it matters. Because see, the thing about a funeral is this. What it says, we want to invest in futures and not funerals. Because the thing about a funeral is after you take off the clothes, and after they close the casket, everybody that sends you a card and gave you a hug, they go back to work on Monday. They go back to everyday life. While you sit there and deal with that death alone. So like Ari said, you can't blame or point the finger. Because the one thing that I've learned from myself as being a convicted felon who fight every day to rectify my decisions, that when I point the finger, it's 3 more pointing back at me. Because I have to take responsibility. You have to have accountability for what's going on. Now I want to give you an example. When LCM did their event, Seabrook was full. We've done several events. And you can barely get people to come out. But the conversation me and this young man had today, many will start out with you, but very few will end. Because everybody's passion and drive is not the same. The foundation starts with our household. You can't get mad at a teacher because your child going to school misbehaving. When teachers are underpaid, underappreciated, and the classroom is overcrowded. So we have to learn to pick and choose our battles. He ain't your enemy. And the police department ain't your enemy. Marcus is the next speaker.
I'll close with this. You know, my department is like, I was like, fantastic, always. The transparency that we offer we have a Citizens Academy, and we offer a Citizens Academy every 3 or 4 months. You know, that means that you can come to the police department, and be able to be inside, hear it and learn everything that's done inside. I mean, like, transparent, like, we're not gonna close doors and turn lights off and hide computers, you know, it's transparent.
What is this? Can you announce it again? What is it?
It's a Citizens Police Academy, and we have it every so often, you just keep track on the website. I want to see the next one starts at the end of September, but, just keep track of that, Citizens Police Academy, and we have volunteers that once you've done the Citizens Academy, you get vetted, you get this little pass thing to walk around and work with us and be assigned, just like a detective, just like a patrolman, and you can see it, you can hear it. She comes to meetings literally more than once a month, and our wall's a thing. She can hear half the conversation being had, she knows some of the discussions, she knows when I'm like, hey, I can't make a meeting, something's going on, she knows, and she hears it. And I'll tell you this much right now, it's, our community is number one. I mean, we definitely wanna make sure that the community is empowered. Whatever you need from us, you know, ask and y'all shall get. And when it comes to solving the crime or reducing it, the ones with the answers are not these academics and law enforcement, it's you all. Okay? Thank you.
Yes. No pressure.
Good. Thank y'all for coming out. So my name is Marcus Jenkins, I'm a graduate of Fayetteville State University, and while I'm here, I'm actually a founder of Roots Mentors. Roots Mentors stands for Regiment of Overriding Statistics. So what we do, we're out of the workers. We actually go into these schools, provide different pull-out sessions, positive to teach them. For instance, I'll give you one. We had them, our students write a letter to their future self 5 years from now. And essentially, what they did in this letter is talk about what they need to do proactively to become better and to grow into the people they want to see. So really to cause them to reflect and really understand that their actions now are going to affect them tomorrow. We also have a lot of different practice sessions where we actually bring them to different colleges and we expose them to a lot of different things. A lot of our kids have different backgrounds, such as fighting in jail, have maybe kids, and they're all in high school minors. So we said, hey, a lot of y'all like to fight. Let's go to a professional boxing match. They're making money out of this. You're getting beat up and you're getting records. They're fighting, they're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So really connecting the dots and exposing them to a whole lot of different positive elements. Another thing we did a while back with Life Changing Mentor, we actually had a When They See Us a watch party here, where we actually broadcasted the When They See Us movie and actually had open conversation about police brutality and how to proactively combat these different things as well. So our objective is to really just expose our youth to a whole lot of different positive outlets. We partner with a whole lot of different community groups, and our job is to just be an asset for the community. As she said, a whole lot of gun violence, a whole lot of negative actions, and rap music is really the biggest thing that I blame a lot as my own person. But like I said, I take accountability because I listen to the same music, but yeah, I have to filter. I know that this is a facade. I know that this is just an image to sell records. I know that at the end of the day, they're not going home robbing, gang banging, doing X, Y, Z, but they would be in jail versus on the TV screen making hits. But yet, I feel it's really poisoning our youth in their mindset for how they carry themselves and how they interact. So our job is to combat all those different features and different factions. And like I said, if we can be an asset, have a whole lot of business cards on the table, we can have some open conversations as well. But that's Roots. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. So next we'll have Ms. Lenore Washington.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me and stuff. And it's sitting back there. I didn't choose to sit over here, but I choose to sit over there. And I just was thinking of the events that people have. And we look at these empty seats, and I've seen, I work here at the rec center also. So I see a lot of activity that goes on here. This is actually a Saturday, and what time is it? It's 2, and usually this place is packed. It's packed with youth, they're outside. You can hear all kind of noise out here. You would hear everybody would be asking for a basketball, you would hear people yelling and cursing, people would be outside, the music would be loud, people would be out there smoking weed, people would be doing all kind of stuff. But what's going on today? Did you bump into anybody outside? Did y'all have trouble getting in the parking lot? So that says that we're at war. And there's a problem going on because it should be full of parents. And there's a lot of activities that go on here at the rec center, and we don't see the parents. And I think about what you were saying about the children, that we gotta get trust with the police. The parents gotta show that they trust the police. We are responsible for our own children. And how are we gonna say that the kids have to trust the police if we don't? And so we're gonna have to be accountable, and there's a lot of bad stuff going on everywhere. There's a lot of bad stuff going on, I hate to say, in the churches. There's a lot of bad stuff going on at our house. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the streets. And it might be a lot of bad stuff going on at the police stations. It might not be ours, but somewhere some things have happened. But that's because of the choices people make, not because of the job. Because it's teachers, it's some bad teachers, it's some good teachers. It's some bad pastors, sad to say, it's some good ones. I mean, we have to weed it out, we have to spray and know things, but we have to come together. That's the biggest thing that I see. I represent Act Like a Lady. It's a mentoring program that I started here at the Smith Recreation Center. We meet on Wednesdays, and I'm honored to have met Demetri, and me and Ms. McNeil, we have talked several times, and we didn't even have ever met each other, but our spirits connected. And so you have to have a passion for this. You can't just come because it don't come with money. It doesn't, there ain't no check that come with this. It's your heart that has to be accountable. And because of that, you might just change two people, but you did something that's gonna make a difference. So I wish that there were more people here because this is needed. We think about the funerals, we think about the shootings, and a lot of times we'll look at things and we'll be like, oh, that's tragic, but it's not at our house. So it's not really, we might weep and we might do some things, but it's not at home yet. But we don't want it to hit. I know you never imagined the phone call that you got that was gonna happen, but are we working hard to do the things that we need to do? Are we making these children be accountable? Because for right now, what I see is too many choices they got. They're making their own choices, and that's not gonna work. And I look at myself, and the reason why I started Act Like a Lady was because I barely made it. I lost my children at an early age to where the system took them. And it was because of what I chose to do. But at the same time, it was a wake-up call that God shook me a little bit and let me know it's time for you to get accountable for some things. So he released them back to me, but I had to go through something. And for you to be able to listen to people and to be able to give assistance and to be able to mentor somebody, you got to have lived something. I can't tell you that drugs will kill you or drugs will put you in a place if I ain't did it. And I can say that I've been there, done that. And God is so good that he will deliver us from the things that we've been through. And these are the people that need to stand up and say that, hey, I went through this, but look, y'all ain't got to go through that. There's too many people too scared to talk to children. I have a problem with that. We're not supposed to be scared of y'all. I don't want you to be scared of me. I want you to respect me. And for us to get this, we got to give it, and y'all got to be able to be accountable. But parents need to be in meetings. They need to be accountable at these events. If it was J. Cole coming in here, this place would be packed out. Dennis, when he comes, it's just a basketball, an AU team. I ain't seen so many parents pop up and see, but then when we say we're doing registration for things and it's Act Like a Lady and it's an art program and it's a poetry program and it's a free, now I ain't talking about stuff that you gotta pay for, I'm talking about free stuff. Wow. I don't see nobody, and I'm not bashing parents or anything, but is anybody there? And that's what we're doing, we gotta keep knocking. And I was trying to figure out what can we do as a team. If we have to pull Mark and pull you and the police department, do we need to go to the doors and let's aggravate some people for a minute and stuff and do some things different because we have to be here for y'all. I don't want to see another death. I don't want to hear about another child raped. I don't want to hear about another child on drugs. I don't wanna see another girl on videos twerking. I'm about, it's time to see what happened to the girls that would do the prayers and the poetry and the talent shows where, things was going on and you could do the little pretty contest and it was actually your talent that got you one. It wasn't, twerking is not a talent. It's not. Cursing your mama out is not a talent. Going to rob somebody is not a talent. Seeing if you can give a girl a pill and she get freaky or whatever, it's not a talent. So we have to change this thing. And for us to do it, we're gonna have to stand up as parents. With Act Like a Lady, one program that one of the girls that went through my program, which is my niece, she, if you can stand up for a second, is we started an outreach program that's called Chosen Generation. That's what we need, is for our young people to know that they are the chosen generation. And that's what they're standing for. God, she got saved at a younger age, and it's not easy. I'm not gonna say that being saved is a walk in the park, but you do have to make some decisions, but we have to show them that it's not hard to be saved. You can't say no to sex at an early age. You can't say no, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not gonna do that. Act like a lady doesn't mean that you gotta wear a dress down to your legs. That's not what it means. It's to have respect for yourself. And I started this program because I had to learn, these girls teach me more than I teach them. We have to be there for one another. And I'm not gonna hate on you for what you do. You used to come and you was there at Act Like a Lady, and now I see you with your own thing. And that means, I thank God for you, because that means that somebody put together, and we're not supposed to be, well, dog, she get ready to pass me. Go, because hey, don't forget me. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, we're supposed to be there for one another. And if we do that to one another, that's what our children see. And there's too much negativity that we're showing our children. And we are ignorant to some things because, like you said, our choices, we didn't know. We didn't know that there is good cops, or that there is, we didn't know. I mean, we was following the culture, like you said, just like everybody thought that all the preachers that stood up in the pulpit was good. We're gonna leave that alone, but that's what it is. I'm just saying, but so everything needs to be, we need to break up the foundation. And we need to start over, and we need to rebuild. And for us to rebuild, that means we all got to come together. We got to sit at a round table, and we got to figure this thing out. How are we going to make changes? And if it comes where it's 5 people at this one, let's do it again. And if it's 10 people at that one, let's do it again. And if it's 20 people at that one, let's do it again until we continue to grow. We don't want your number to grow. I know you said that it was growing, but we want you to be supportive, but let's do it for another reason. There's so many other things that we can grow in, and we don't want it to be death. We don't want it to be that we get together because these are the women of the children got raped, or these are the women of the children whose their child died. We want it to be, these are the children that their children went to the White House. These are the children when they get ready to go to college early. These are the children that's get ready to be doctors. These are the children that's get ready to be lawyers. We want that. So I just thank you for having me, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Lenora. We're gonna, have this, I have a problem pronouncing her name, Precious. She's gonna come up and do poetry, and, I really agree with that. It's so ironic that she said the round table, because me and Demetri have been talking about that. That's what we're going to do with Rainbow Bullets. We're going to do a round table, try to get the community to come out, so we can kind of talk about what we're gonna do, how we're gonna fix this issue. And, it's just so much going on, and it's not gonna be done overnight. This is not gonna happen overnight, but it's gonna take time, but it's gonna take us. This is not a you problem, this is not an I problem, this is a us problem. And we gotta constantly push that. And just like these young men, these are the ones that need to hear this. But it's all right, we're gonna get them. I'm not a person that give up. I'm not gonna give up. And we're gonna keep fighting, and I'm gonna keep fighting for justice for my son. And just like Betty Ramirez said, the people gotta talk. Nobody spoke up on my son's behalf when he was murdered. His murder is not solved. But guess what? I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna get up, give up, and somebody gonna talk. Before I close my eyes on the side of this earth, somebody gonna talk. And I'm going to keep pushing, and we're gonna push unity, and we're gonna keep pushing it. And I'm gonna have her come up, she does poetry, and I've heard her a couple times, and she comes to the events, and I just wanna push her gift. She has a gift, and I love it.
Hello everybody, how you guys doing? Before I begin my pieces, I want to say thank you for inviting me. I appreciate being a part of the community I grew up in. This is something I'm trying to do more. I'm also a teacher, so I hear all the stuff about, hearing what goes on in the classroom. I see all of that. I also have a dad as a minister. I see all of that stuff too, so I see all of the things that you all are talking about as well. The first piece that I'm going to share with you all is called Believe. This piece, I'm kind of changing the meaning behind it, but it originally started whenever I started working with children with autism. And so that kind of inspired me to write this piece based off of where I came from. So I hope that you all can take something from that. When I was a child, I believed that I could be whatever I wanted. I was told that the sky is not my limit and to always reach with lifted ambition. To always dream big and to hope for the best, and to think beyond life's basic concepts. To understand what it means to expand, but to always remember to never hold your heart in your hand. See, them old heads in my city, they would preach their wisdom to me, and they would tell me not to be given to the influences around me. Because what I saw could easily deter my belief, and trust me, it truly took a lot of determining not to be what my environment presented. And yes, I saw the typical. Drug dealers and hustlers, gangbangers and molesters, addicts and prostitutes. I even saw pastors do some things that I won't mention to you. See, I was exposed to quite a bit, and these things don't even touch the surface. But nevertheless, I never let these things be used as my crutches. See, I was blessed and I knew it, and no one could tell me different. Because I believed in something beyond what I was presented. See, I am to this day thankful for all those prayers that were said. All those long nights of crying from those that cared for me did. Because it paid off. I'm in such a better predicament. I can look at my past circumstances and I regret my future choices. See, I can motivate others to help them to believe in themselves. Because someone believed enough in me to help me to believe in myself. See, I can stand in front of you and tell you that you really are important. Because once you know how essential your existence is, you can move with significance regarding your purpose. And see, I won't shy away when I can help others in need. Because if I got it, I'm going to give it, because it might provide hope for someone else to believe. See, understand, it's not where you've been. It's about where you're going. And it's okay to look back occasionally to measure where your growth is. Understand that the things that you may have been through may not be to benefit you. For the things that you may have been through may serve as a guide for someone else that passes through to believe that there is a God. Understand that belief is where your true strength is. It is the determining factor that will allow you to live. See, it will it will calm your mind and it will shape your thoughts. Because when you believe in something bigger than yourself, it gives you something else to live for. See, as a child, I believed that I could be anything that I wanted. And now, as an adult, I know that it's possible to obtain it. See, things may take time to catch up to your thoughts. But please, crowd, always remember to hope and believe that you can accomplish anything that you have set in your heart. Thank you. All right, this next piece I'm going to have Detective Ramirez.
Ma'am.
I want to make sure I had your name right.
Major Ramirez.
Major Ramirez, okay, all right. The reason I called him out is because I noticed that when he came up here, our community always, when you see a police officer, they're going to punish that one police officer for everything that a police officer does, everything. Even if they're standing on the side that's correct. So, no, I don't know him, but I do respect you coming up here and showing up to an event where maybe not a lot of people hasn't shown up, but this is still a big, big number in comparison to what it could be. And the reason I say that is the next piece I have is called The Gift of Forgiveness. And this piece was written off of something that was personal, but we all have things we struggle with that we have to forgive. Otherwise, you'll struggle with things for the rest of your life, and that does not determine your age. That's something that you deal with consistently as you grow. One muggy summer night, it was about 10:30 to be exact. I was lying in my bed in the dark where only the moonlight could peek in. See, I caught myself drowning in my thoughts while staring at my rotating ceiling fan. As my eyes began to close and the ceiling fan spun above me, I could literally right then feel the wind being sucked out of me. It could be described as if someone was trying to temporarily suffocate me. This was more than depression mixed with anxiety. This felt as if my soul was trying to exit my body. See, I never wanted to talk about this because it reached beyond too deep. In the depths of my soul, this type of pain was a type of pain that can disrupt the dead from their current place of peace. And yes, I struggled with this at that time each time I laid my head down to attempt sleep. And yes, there were many nights of exhaustion from crying that my wet pillowcase was more comforting than to reach out to one single soul and to tell them how I was craving a release. See, just the thought of these things that have possession of my mind made me feel as if a peaceful sleep would never be in my grasp, like it never again would be mine. Oh,